As for the optical clarity, I can't complain. It is just fantastic. It works great as a unit. Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Today I'm checking out the Pulsar Krypton 2 XG50 thermal monocular. So first of all, this is how it comes in the carry case. Let me open it up and I'll show you exactly what comes with it. Okay, so I'll run through what's inside here now, guys. One thing though, I have borrowed this from a mate of mine who purchased it brand new, and he's unfortunately hung onto the wall adapter and the remote that comes with the device. So I can't show you that, unfortunately, but just to let you know, that's what you can expect, you know, if you buy one of these brand new. But everything else here is how it comes in the pack. So we've got a carry strap here. We've got a manual on the Streamvision 2 app, which allows you to connect to the device. Naturally, we've got the manual for the Krypton 2 itself, a little carry bag, an Allen key, some double-sided tape to help mount it. We've got a cleaning cloth there. We've got a couple of covers here. We've got the charger cover, and then there's a cover here for when you're not using the battery. The battery on top of the device itself, a 3-power monocular, and obviously the battery charging device and the cable that comes with that, a USB cable. Now, depending on how you want to attach this to a day optic will depend on the actual adapter that you get, okay? Now, the first one here is a PSP-V. Now, that's got a Picatinny or a Weaver attachment at the bottom there. So if you had a full-length rail, you know, for example, like an AR or straight pull AR equivalent, you know, you could use that. Or you could go for the actual ring adapters for most scopes. So, you know, if you've got a 3 to 9 by 40 or 42, then obviously you'll go for the PSP42B adapter. If you've got, say, you know, like a 4 to 16 by 50, then go for the 50B adapter. Or if you've got like a 5 to 25 by 56 optic, then you'd go for the 56B adapter. So what I've got here, now I've just got on the front of my Schmidt & Bender, this is a 2.5 to 10 by 40 optic, okay? Now this is the adapter that I've got on the front there. Now if you turn it over, you'll see that I've got PSP-50B, which is actually the incorrect one for that optic, but I have borrowed this, you know, from a friend of mine, and that was the adapter he had, and they come with a lot of these ring inserts, so I've actually used a few of them just to basically get that on the front of the optic there to show you. Why didn't I go with the Picatinny? Look, I guess I could have. I would have had to have just replaced the front handguard on my AR, but I wanted to use the actual normal scope clip-on because that's going to be 99% of Australian shooters, so that's why I've gone that way. Now, to connect the eyepiece, obviously just take off the cover here. It's really straightforward, the interface that they've got with this, is you pretty much put it on at about the 10 o'clock position, right? You'll feel it just drop down and then just turn clockwise to 12 o'clock and it just clicks into place. It is that simple. I really like the interface on this XG50. So let's talk a little bit about specs and stuff like that, guys. The last Pulsar review that I did was about 3 years ago now, and that was the Thermion XP50 rifle scope. That was a complete standalone rifle scope, and you know, a lot of people, you know, may not like that if they don't want to lose their day optic capability. And this is why I was really keen to get a hold of the XG50, because obviously with those adapters, you're not going to lose that day optic capability. You can clearly use this for when you want to use thermal and then take it off when you just want your day optic. So let's talk a little bit about the specs more, okay? We've got a 640 microbolometer resolution, so obviously that's a lot better with thermal when it comes to recognizing what you're actually looking at over, you know, for example, 320 resolution. Now, the pixel width is 12 microns, okay? So that's from pixel to pixel. So to give you an idea of just how fine that is, most human hairs, for example, are 50 microns. So, you know, to have 12 microns from pixel to pixel, you've got an idea of how fine this device is. Now, detection range is 2,300 meters or a whopping 2,515 yards. I mean, that is really, really impressive. The adapter at the back of the eyepiece is a 3-power magnification. So obviously that's great for just, you know, having as a handheld device, looking around. You're not going to be blown away with magnification that you're not going to see anything too close up. It's just that nice magnification that you can still identify objects out to, you know, various distances. When you do clip it onto the day optic, they do suggest using from, you know, 2 power to 6 power and not going over that, because obviously think about it, if this is clipped onto the front of your optic and the more magnification you've got, obviously those pixels will become bigger and bigger, okay? So eventually you'll get a certain amount of pixelization. So yeah, what I've found with this so far by just having it mounted, yeah, look, 4 power is perfect for out hunting anyway. Now the runtime on this is 11 hours with the battery, okay? That's pretty impressive. That's going to get you through the whole night. We've got IPX7 waterproof rating, so that means that you could pretty much have the device in 3 feet of water for 30 minutes. Not that I'm not, you know, that I'm going to test this, I'm not going to do that, but that's just their specs in general. Operating temperature from -25 to +50 degrees Celsius, so that's -13 to +122 Fahrenheit. Now the weight of it, okay, now this is with the included battery, is 580 grams or 1.28 pounds, okay, as you see it. So not too heavy, but keep in mind when you clip this onto the front of a day optic, it is going to add that weight and make it that little bit front heavy, okay? So expect that, you know, to obviously happen. Now the dimensions on it, with the actual eyepiece, it's 21.7 centimeters long or 8.5 inches. Without the eyepiece, it's 10.3 centimeters or 4 inches, okay? So it's a really nice compact unit. It's 78 millimeters or 3.1 inches wide, and we've got 84 millimeters or 3.3 inches high. Now, the recoil that this can withstand is up to 375 H&H, 6,000 joules, they say, officially. So, you know, I can't see the majority of shooters, especially here in Australia, having any issues with mounting it to, say, like a 308 or 300 Win Mag, you know, some of your favourite calibers out there. We've got a internal 16 gig memory. It can be basically used as a standalone, in the sense of you can use the buttons here to activate it, record it, because obviously you can record video, you can take photos all internally, or there is the Streamvision 2 app. Now, for some reason, guys, I cannot get the app to work with this device. Even though I'm connected to it with Wi-Fi, I just can't. So I'll have to make some more inquiries with that one. I didn't have that problem with the original Pulsar review that I did on the Thermion XP50. Okay, that worked fine with the app, but yeah, this one just not working. So there may be something small that I'm not doing, but yeah, I can't get it to work. Made in Lithuania, this one, just like the other Pulsar products, and I do find them a fairly good, high quality. So, you know, expect to pay a little bit for it. As you see this device here, you're going to be paying around about that $5,000, okay? So, yeah, it's not super cheap, but you are getting some, you know, decent quality with it, and it comes with a 3-year warranty. So, you know, I'm pretty impressed with that. What we'll do before I just take it out, guys, I'll just give you a very quick rundown with the buttons here, okay? Now, you've got the on-off button here. There's a focus button here on the side that you just turn. And we've got the up and down button and a menu button there, which you can go through and select various different options from there. Don't mind about the chook in the background here, guys. I've got one of the hens that have come in to see what I'm doing, and she's Yeah, she's very interested in what I'm doing here at the bench. So anyhow, all right guys, so let's get out on the farm now. What I need to do and just check with this device is actually get it on my AR and make sure it holds 0, that there's no shift in point of impact by putting this device on the front to make it obviously safe for feral pest control. So let's get to it and let's get into the review. Okay guys, so I've got the Pulsar clipped onto the front of my Schmidt & Bender Summit scope. Okay, so this is a 2.5 to 10 by 40 optic. I've just got it set at 4 power. So what I'll do is I'll hit record on the Pulsar so you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, now it won't be quite as magnified obviously as what I'm looking through at 4 power, but it'll still show downrange. So I've got a camera set up down there at the 50-yard frame. I've got 2 small rocks sitting on that frame, okay, because obviously the rifle scope is zeroed, but I want to make sure before we do feral pest control that by putting this Pulsar on the front of the scope, it's not going to change that point of impact, and obviously it'll be safe to do feral pest control. Out there at 100, I've also got a spinner gong, no bigger than the palm of my hand, okay? So if we dead on there at 50, I'll shoot a couple of times at there at 100 and see how we go with that gong. If we're hitting it consistently, then I know we're nice and zeroed. So I'll just hit the record on the Pulsar now and you can look at what I'm seeing. Okay, so look, no problems there at all, guys. I'm very happy with that. There was no change in the point of impact by putting the Pulsar on the front. So we'll wait till it's a little bit darker and we'll see what feral pests come out here on the farm, and we'll have a bit of fun with the rifle doing some pest control. So we'll go through the color modes now. So we've got white hot, black hot, red hot, red monochrome, rainbow, ultramarine, violet, and sepia. But we'll go back to white hot for the purpose of this review. Nice clean shot just below the eye. About 100 yards away we've got a wallaby, and then further out 200 we've got a couple of hares there. So yeah, looking at these, we've got right behind the eye there, and just snap the neck on that one. And here we are looking at some red deer about 125 yards away. Now as you can see from here, you can clearly see the thermal image of them, but when they move into really thick scrub though, it does struggle a little bit naturally. But then when they come into a clearing again, you can see part of that thermal image coming through. Looking at cattle here 1500 and even out to 2000 yards away, you can clearly see them in the clearing there down in the valley. Looking at a couple of bandicoots now, as you can see, you know, even some of their heat signature disappears once they're in thicker grass, but you can still clearly see everything. The image quality in general on this is really great. Okay guys, I'm going to wrap up my final thoughts on the Pulsar Krypton 2 XG50 thermal monocular. The obvious advantage of this over a standalone thermal scope is the fact that it fits in the palm of your hand and you can simply scan around and have a look with it, as opposed to lifting a rifle up with an actual dedicated thermal optic on top. So the advantage of that is just massive. You don't get the fatigue. You can just easily walk around and just look at things. It's so easy to use. I love the quick detach system where basically you just turn it back to 10 o'clock, pull straight off, clip it onto the front of the day optic, turn to the 12 o'clock position again, and away you go. You couldn't ask for anything more simple than that in my view. As for the optical clarity, I mean, look, fantastic. It just works a treat, keeping that day optic, you know, at around about that 3 to 4 power is probably the preference I find, you know, so you still get some decent clarity without that pixelization that you would have if you then zoom in, you know, to 10 power or something like that. So keep that in mind. The distance that it picks things up at is just phenomenal. It's almost like cheating, you know, when you do go out hunting. I really believe that. As for any issues that I've had, I cannot get the Streamvision 2 app to work. I got a little bit of a hack from the distributor here about how to make it work, and you got to turn off the refresh on the app. Well, straight away it's ghosted out. I can't turn it off on the app. The option isn't available to do no matter what I do. So that's frustrating as well, because, you know, you're paying quite a few $1,000s for this unit. You would expect that the app would just work flawlessly. You don't have to do any hack or anything like that to try to make it work. I'm sure they'll sort it out perhaps in updated versions, but still, it is a disappointment, isn't it, if you're paying that sort of money for the optic. The other thing that I've found a problem with, and this is more of a concern to me rather than the app, is the video files on this. When I'm actually transferring them to the computer, or even just opening the device itself without having yet transferred to the computer, about 1 out of every 5 or 6 videos is corrupted. So I don't know whether there's a problem, a little glitch with the internal memory on the unit or not, but it's happened to me. I've reformatted it, took it out again, took several videos, and then once again there's one corrupted one. So what was the most frustrating thing for me is that vision that I got shooting the 2 hairs lined up. That actually didn't work, and I was just ripping my hair out going, surely not. But yep, it was the corrupted file out of the 6 or 7 that I'd recorded at that time. So I had to then pay for a utility to fix it. And even then it wasn't 100% right, but I was able to salvage just enough of the shot being taken to you know, show that to you guys. So yeah guys, look, that's frustrating. I'm hoping that it's just a glitch with this particular unit that I've got and not widespread naturally. So guys, look, you know, I call it the way it is. I show you the negatives with the positives, and this is exactly it. As for the optical clarity, I can't complain. It is just fantastic. It works great as a unit, but I do have an issue with the app not working, and also with you know, one of the video files out of every 6 or 7 being corrupted. That is a problem for me. So yeah, that's my honest thoughts on it. Please guys, we'll wrap up by saying check your subscription to me, because YouTube are taking subscribers away every month without your permission. So please check your subscription, resubscribe, re-enable the bell icon. Please give me the thumbs up, comment below, share the videos, and help become a part of the Aussie Reviews community. All right guys, we'll leave the review at that. Thanks very much for watching, so we'll catch you next time.